Imagine this. It's the early 1800s. Britain controls the seas with the strongest navy in the world.
The empire is growing everywhere. And in the middle of the Mediterranean sits a tiny island, Malta.
Malta is like a stepping stone between Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East.
Whoever controls Malta can control trade routes and wars in the region.
Britain captured Malta during the war against Napoleon. It seemed like the perfect prize.
And yet, when the time came, Britain did not make Malta part of its empire straight away. Strange, right? The same empire that ruled India and Canada hesitated over Malta? Why? Was it fear of France? Or upsetting other European powers? Or did Britain think Malta was more trouble than it was worth at the time?
Today, we'll uncover why Britain refused to annex Malta and how it changed history.
To understand Malta's story, we need to step back to the late 1700s. For centuries, Malta had been ruled by the Knights of St. John, also called the Hospitallers.
They were once famous for defending Europe from pirates and the Ottoman Empire.
By the 18th century, the knights were old, weak, and running out of money.
In 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte set sail for Egypt with a massive French fleet. On the way, he invaded Malta. The French took over the island quickly. But soon, the Maltese were unhappy. The French looted churches, seizing gold and treasures. They forced new laws that clashed with Maltese traditions.
Priests were insulted, and many Maltese felt their faith was under attack.
Anger grew until the Maltese were ready to rise up.
Villagers armed themselves and attacked the French garrisons.
The French retreated into Valletta's fortress, trapped by the revolt.
The Maltese knew they couldn't win alone, so they sought foreign help.
The British and their allies blockaded Malta by sea.
On land, Maltese rebels kept the French trapped inside Valletta.
The siege dragged on for nearly 2 years, and both sides faced shortages. At last, in 1800, the exhausted French surrendered to the British blockade. With the French gone, Malta was placed under British protection, Hochland, but not annexed. Britain hesitated, fearing that annexing Malta would upset the balance of power in Europe. Treaties like the Treaty of Amiens made Malta's status even more uncertain. Britain delayed annexation, hoping to avoid open conflict with European powers. For Britain, Malta was a priceless naval base, but claiming it risked angering Europe. On paper, Britain promised to leave Malta at, but in reality, they stayed. Britain slowly shifted from a temporary protector to Malta's permanent ruler.
Valletta soon became one of Britain's most important naval bases in the Mediterranean.
Britain reinforced Malta's harbors and fortifications,
turning the island into a fortress. Other European powers grew uneasy, seeing Britain's stronghold in Malta as a threat.
Napoleon's France was furious, seeing Malta as a jewel stolen from under its nose.
British diplomats defended their hold on Malta in conferences and negotiations.
Britain insisted it was protecting Malta, not exploiting it for empire. For the Maltese, British rule brought stability and order after years of turmoil.
Yet, many Maltese still longed for independence, not foreign occupation. Britain balanced Malta's importance with the need to avoid provoking its rivals. Malta became known as the unsinkable fortress of the Mediterranean.
Control of Malta gave Britain dominance over Mediterranean trade and wars.
Rival powers were forced to adjust their strategies, knowing Britain held Malta.
For Malta, British rule brought progress propping, but also dependency on the empire.
Formally, Britain never annexed Malta Amund, but in practice, the island was theirs.
What do you think? Should Britain have annexed Malta outright or stayed cautious? Share your thoughts below, Airman. History is full of tough choices, and we want to hear yours.
If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe for more 3D animated history.
Next time, we'll explore Britain's other fortress, Gibraltar, the gateway to the Mediterranean.
Support our channel on Patreon to keep these animated documentaries alive.
During World War II, Malta's bravery earned it the George Cross for heroism.
Britain's refusal to annex Malta shaped the island's long path to independence.
Today, Malta stands as an independent nation, proud of its history and resilience.
Malta's story shows how empires can rule without annexation and how people endure. Thanks for watching, and join us next time as we uncover more hidden chapters of history.